Chair will postpone further proceedings today on motions to suspend the rules on which a recorded vote or the ayes and nays are ordered, on which the vote incurs objection under Clause 6 of Rule 20. Recorded votes will be postponed. Questions will be taken later. For what purpose does the gentleman from Alaska seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules and pass H.R. 5167 as amended.
The clerk report the title of the bill.
67, a bill to direct the Administrator of General Services on behalf of the Secretary of the Interior to convey certain federal property located in the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska to the Olgoonik Corporation, an Alaska Native corporation established under the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from Alaska, Mr. Young, and the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Gall, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Alaska.
Mr. Speaker, I ask for unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days to revive and extend their remarks and include extemporaneous materials on the bill under consideration.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized for as much time as he may consume.
The Wainwright Short-Range Radar Site is an old distant early warning station commonly referred to the Wainwright Dew Line Site. Historically, the U.S. Air Force maintained a radar site on the property, but is no longer operational. The Air Force is in the final stages of cleaning up the property, which is expected to be finished this summer. And the Olgoonik Corporation and Alaska Native Corporation is collaborating on the effort. When it finishes the cleanup, the Air Force is set to relinquish its right to the property, which is owned by the Department of Interior and managed by the Bureau of Management. The Native Corporation has been working with the Bureau to acquire the site, which sits in the middle of land already owned by the Native Corporation. However, language of the National Petroleum Reserve Act of 1876 prevents the Bureau from conveying this land. H.R. 5167 directs the Secretary of Interior to sell the site at fair market value to the Native Corporation. This will allow the Alaska Natives to incorporate the land in their existing land and use management plan and policy, thus turning the potential abandoned, unused parcels into a useful property. I urge my colleagues to support this bill as reported from the unanimously National Resources Committee, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Alaska reserves his time. The gentleman from Arizona is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized for as much time as he may consume.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. H.R. 5167 directs the Administrator of General Services on behalf of the Secretary of Interior to convey 1,518 acres of federal land in the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska to the Olgoonik Corporation. The parcel in question was previously used by the U.S. Air Force and is no longer needed by the Department of Defense. It contains a pipeline to the Chukchi Sea and would likely be used to support offshore energy extraction. It is surrounded by land already owned by the Olgoonik Corporation and that was conveyed under the Alaska Native Settlement Claims Act. Transferring the isolated parcel would help simplify BLM management of the preserve and provide needed economic development for the Alaska Native corporations. While I have some concerns with this legislation, including an unrealistic 180-day time frame for survey and conveyance of the parcel, the waiver of requirements to provide an environmental review according to NEPA, and the use of a non-federal appraisal agent, we support the passage of H.R. 5167 and reserve the balance of our time.
Reserved. The gentleman from Alaska is now recognized.
Speaker, I have no further speakers and yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Alaska yields back. The gentleman from Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yield back the balance of our time.
Gentleman yields back. The question is, the House suspend the rules and pass H.R. 5167 as amended. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Without objection, the title is amended. For what purpose